My 26 male girlfriend, 25 female, had cheated with my best friend, 27 male.
Okay.
His wife, 25 female, wants to date me now. Little switcheroo.
Okay. All right. Okay. Commingling. We see you. All right.
So I found out last week she was cheating on me with my best friend.
Fuckers, first of all.
Yeah. Oh, bad.
All bad.
When she forgot to sign out of her Facebook and a message from my best friend said, I love you.
Oh, I would literally throw up on my keyboard.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking mad. That hurts so hard because you lose your loved one and you lose your best friend.
Yeah, that is like the double dagger. That is just like the worst case scenario you could ever encounter.
Truly the worst. My heart goes out to that. Like, and personally, I would rather, like, I don't know, guys or girls, they come and go. Your friends.
That's your ride and die.
Those are your ride or die. It's like your friends, like, there's that joke where it's like my girlfriend said to my boyfriend, like,
I come first.
You may not be in her wedding, but I fucking will. And it's like, because guys come and go.
Yeah.
Like, they may not be the one, even though you think they are, but your friends are going to be the ones who stand next to you on your wedding day. Or if you don't have a wedding, they stand next to you through it all.
That and the fact, like, it is hard to, like, make good friends. Like,
yes.
I've had a lot
especially in Los Angeles.
Definitely. And so it's like, even like Minnesota, LA, like,
yeah, anywhere really.
Like you've kind of gone through like a recent adjustment in your friend group. And
yeah. Yeah, very recent. So my heart's in this one.
Yeah. And like I had a friend in Minnesota that just like was just so hurtful to me. And like as hard as it was, like cutting that toxic person out was like necessary. Like she kind of did the opposite of this. Like she would message my boyfriend at the time and tell him that I was cheating on him when I wasn't. Like she was literally trying to cause a breakup because she wanted a fun single friend.
Just stir the pot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really? That was the motivation?
Either that or she wanted to fuck him. Like,
I was thinking she wanted to fuck him.
She told me multiple times, like,
I just wanted you to be single. First of all, any of you bitches do that to me.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah. So I just like, I don't fuck with like friends fucking with your boyfriend.
No.
Like, or your partner. Like, it's just,
it's so
there's
bad.
a big fucking pond out there.
Right.
Find another fish.
There are quite literally billions of people on this planet, millions in each state. And no matter where you are, like, fucking do better. Like, why would you, I mean, you shouldn't cheat, period. But like, if you're gonna fucking cheat, don't do it across the pond. Like, go get creative. Go, like the coworker too. Like, why do people? There has to be some type of psychological.
It's convenient.
It's convenience, and I also think it's proximity. Like, I think naturally we're wired to be attracted to people that we like have a degree of connection with. So like, I have a cousin who's a guy, and a lot of my friends have kissed him at one point or another. Quite a few.
Not
and he's a great guy. I love my cousin. He's awesome. Who wouldn't like him? But he's not like,
there's so many other guys out there.
There's so many other guys out there. And a lot of the times I think, not a lot of times, not to discredit his game. I'm sure he's got game. I wouldn't fucking know he's my cousin.
No, but why? Why make it messy?
But I think it's because people meet it. Yeah, right? Like, I think they meet him and they're like, oh, you know, he feels close to home because he's like related to one of my best friends, right? And I think there's this relatability where people are like naturally attracted to people that they share a connection with, or like a mutual person with. So with like, it's just like, in this case, to bring it back to this story, my first thought was these people are connecting over their grief because they've both been cheated on, right?
Yeah.
They've both been cheated on, and it's like misery loves company. So like, you know,
I think it's really confusing because it's like OP is the guy whose girlfriend cheated on him with the best friend.
Right.
And now the best friend's wife is coming to him. It's like this intertangled web, but...
What is his question? Is it wrong?
No. So he basically goes to say, like, from the I love you. I opened a thread and it was them talking about dates behind my back. She admitted it after I confronted her. And since Bob wasn't going to tell his wife, I told her. Damn.
Yeah.
Long story short, we broke up and the best friend's wife moved out. Yesterday, though, his former wife called me and said she wanted to sleep with me.
Okay.
And wanted to get back into dating.
No.
I'm concerned. She has not grieved properly, and neither have I. What do I do? Yeah, this was a week ago.
Okay,
take a
so
step back.
Immediately no. Like,
no, she's trying to get revenge.
Yeah, this is a Black China move. She's revenging.
Yeah.
She's avenging.
Black China.
This is a Black China where like Black China said, fuck you for cheating on me with Kylie Jenner. I'm going to go fuck your brother.
And I'm going to be permanently tied to your family.
I'm permanently in. I'm in. And then they had a child and that's a whole nother story. But in this case, she's so clearly like,
hurting.
And
this is purely to get back at her husband.
Yeah, it's a reverse. Like, who could hurt him the most? Like her husband or former husband. Like, who could I sleep with that would really like kick him while he's down, right? And it would be his best friend. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that unless he has a brother or his dad. But like, that's some savage shit.
It is.
And no, I'm sorry. She didn't just wake up and say, God damn it, I've just always wanted to sleep with you. Well,
especially a week after.
Yeah, no.
A week after, like, it wasn't because he was just dating his girlfriend.
Right.
Like,
and she was just fucking married, full on.
And she was married.
Probably still is, right? Because they're not divorced if it was a week ago.
Yeah, oh my God, how fast can you get a lawyer and get papers signed? Not in a week.
No.
Like, it takes sometimes years.
Absolutely.
So it's like, this is purely just like to get back at him, which if that's what it takes for you to get closure, I support it. But at the same time, like, this guy's going through it. Like, don't put him through it, unless he's down. But by him writing this post, I'm going to take that he's not on board.
He's conflicted because he wrote this post. And I don't know. I understand you need to I'm not down for revenge. I think that's where I'm like, I lost her because I'm down for coping. If you have to go fuck someone else to cope, be my guest, have at it. But I've never understood the revenge thing. Like, I've never been a revengeful person.
In most cases, like, I think my biggest thing, and like me and Lauren talk about it a lot, is like, I had an ex that we dated for almost 3 years. It was like 2.5, like a little over, like almost 3 years. It felt like forever. And he broke up with me in a text message.
Oh my God, I know.
And I did not even reply.
I know. So fucking badass.
And so it's
like that's when I knew. I was like, I fuck with you heavy.
And so like for me, I'm not a revenge either because I'm like,
you're not.
I just want to be done. Like, get this person as far away from me as possible.
100%. I'm a firm believer that no response is a response.
No response is sometimes way better than a response.
It's loud. It can be really loud.
Apart.
And you know what? It's like, for me, that is my method of coping sometimes. I can think of a few times I've done that and people are like, you need closure. No, I don't. That is my closure. Yeah. I don't think this person deserves a response.
No, they don't.
They don't. And to formulate a response takes energy, and not responding isn't an asshole move to me. I know sometimes it can be that way, but for me, it's like, this is me hanging up my armor. This is me not waving a white flag, but like, this is me saying I've had enough and I don't need to engage in this anymore, because where energy goes, your focus flows. So like,
wow.
Yeah. And I'd rather just not even feed it. It's like, I'd rather I'd rather starve the fire.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I think your energy point is like so true, because it's like, why waste more energy on a person that did not care about you, did not care about your feelings.
Right.
There was complete lack of respect. So it's like, just
for what?
For
what?
On.
And I will say to that point, like, this is why I'm not revengeful, is because I try to be the bigger person, and I've been cheated on, I've been hurt, I've been betrayed by friends, I've, had all those situations, but I try not to go low, because at the end of the day, like, you can cut that person out. You can never talk to them again. But you have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to sleep with yourself every night. And for me, I would rather go to bed every night knowing I did my best and I didn't sink down to their level. Like this girl, to relate it back, like, okay, you're hurt. And now for some reason you're out for blood and you want revenge. You sleep with his best friend. You're no better than him.
Well,
now.
And it's like, it might make you feel good briefly.
I don't even know if it will, but
maybe. At the end of the day, like,
Now what? An eye for an eye? Like, are you going to go rehab your marriage now because you feel like you got even? I don't think so.
No.
You're doing more damage. Like, in maybe some world, you guys work out your differences and you rehab the cheating and you get back together. You're just making it worse because now you're sleeping with his friends. So like, now both of you have to like get over
live
something.
With that.
Right. So like, why not just be a good person and just walk away and say, like, I've gotten fucked over. And never once have I been like, I'm going to fuck over the person back ever. It's just not, because why? Like, it's just energy that
it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
It's not worth it. Just the best thing you can do is move on.
Yeah.
And never look back.
I think, like, as you were talking, I had this like flashback to one of the times I was like a little immature, but
we've all been there.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like this was after, it was after my 3-year long relationship. And it was after like, I'm trying to think of the timeline, but it was after the long relationship, and I was, living in Minnesota, and I was dating this guy that was like a mutual friend of my friends, and we were never like official, but like we had like talked and hung out continuously for a year.
This friend or this guy?
This guy I was like seeing. So we had hung out for like a year, and his like dad owned this restaurant in Minnesota.
Minnesota is like
small fucking
so
world.
Small. It's so funny. Like all you have to say is like one thing, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
The identifying factor.
I love it. Yeah.
And like it's the nicest. It's like one of the nicest restaurants in like Minneapolis.
I fucking love that place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love it. Have
it's
you
amazing.
been there recently?
Cove?
Yes.
No.
It's fantastic.
I absolutely love it. So like he was so sweet. Like I would be having a bad day, and I'm like, hey, I'm just feeling really blue today. Not feeling great, like whatever. And he would literally show up with like a like industrial size bucket of soup from his restaurant, like ginger ale, which is like my go-to drink when I'm really ill, and like
just on a normal day.
Like he was so thoughtful, and like this stuff went on for a year. We literally had plans to go out on his boat like the next day, and so I texted him one night, and I was like, hey, good night. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, okay, sounds good. Like, can't wait.
Yeah.
Text him the next day for the boat. Ghosted. Absolutely ghosted after a year. Turns out he wanted one of his servers from his restaurant to come on the boat. Like, because he was the manager of his family's restaurant.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. Like,
how'd you find that out?
My friend that was mutual friends with him. And
who was on the boat?
On the boat.
Oh, you didn't tell.
Yeah. And he actually dated this girl after. And so... like totally fine.
Yeah.
But I was so pissed because I'm like, really? Like at least give me the decency to just like tell me that you've met someone that you click with more. Like that's not going to hurt me. Like what hurts me is like the ghosting. Like just be open, upfront, and honest. And so like me and a couple of friends one night, like took a fucking carton of eggs. It was like me and Whitney. Like,
oh my God, I remember this.
Yeah. Alejandra's like one of her best friends since grade school.
Literally like 15 years.
Yeah. And
fuck
so
I mean, Whitney used to TP the shit out of people too. Like that's literally on brand.
Yeah. She was well equipped for this task.
Well fucking equipped.
And he had like this corner apartment, and we were like, it was like scoped out in the grass, like on our stomachs, like crawling up. It was like me, Whitney, and I think Noelle.
I was gonna say I didn't want to incriminate her, but I feel like she was there.
Yeah, it was Noelle too. And
those are like the two, like those bitches will
they'll do anything for you.
They will ride for you.
Great fucking friends.
Yeah, I know.
Great friends. And so we're like crawling, and you could see him like in this little glass apartment. And you saw him like, and the girl was there too.
Oh,
and you saw,
my God.
Yeah. And you saw him and the girl literally like walking with the fireplace on, going to sit and like watch a movie, and we just take eggs.
Does that make
and
you
just
kind of nauseous though? Or were you so adrenaline?
Oh, I was so pissed.
But you weren't like sad? Like I never want to see someone that I'm like talking to or dating with another girl.
I was more mad. I mean, I think like, God, I've had shitty boyfriends.
No, I have to.
I'm like, I was mad at that moment, but I have felt that where like one of my other exes, the one that has the secret baby, he started dating the second time he cheated on me. He started dating that girl.
Yeah.
And so I had to deal with her like coming down to the cities and always running into them together. And it was like the most like uncomfortable, gross situation. And like that made me sad. But in this moment, I'm like, fuck no, I'm Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, throwing eggs.
For
like,
sure.
I was ready
fuck
to
it
just
all. To
fuck
end
it
it
up.
all.
Yeah, I honestly don't think one of the eggs even hit the window. Like,
what? I'm fucking pissed now. I've got a bone to pick with Whitney and Noelle. None of your eggs landed.
We had some weak arms.
I'm pissed.
But it was the thought that counts.
Sure.
Thought that counts.
But you could have done more damage.
Yeah.
No, that's actually funny. Speaking of which, like one of my exes who cheated. One of them. But this is the most notorious one.
Oh,
this
God.
is the one that
The true sociopath.
Yes, sociopath through motherfucking through.
Oof.
Still lives in Minnesota, poisoning the lakes. So he...
Oh my God. That's probably the greatest thing anyone has ever said on this podcast.
Wreaking havoc on Lake Superior.
Oh my God.
No, for real though, he for sure is. And
Yeah, still being problematic.
still being fucking so problematic. I mean, thank God I don't like keep up with him, so I actually really don't know what he's up to these days, but probally ruining someone's life in some capacity.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. And so he... fucker. Just thinking about him. And funny, it's like I've moved on. Like it's
Completely.
not like I don't harbor that.
No.
I don't harbor this like ill will, and I wake up and choose violence and like think like how can I fuck him today? But it's like when I talk about him, I'm like, God damn it.
Because it brings you back.
When I say it out loud, I'm like, Jesus
Christ,
Christ, why did I ever put up with that? Right.
Yeah, no. And I mean, looking back, yeah, it's the exact same thing. It's like, why did I put myself through that?
Yeah.
That person was not worth it.
No.
But in the moment, you're like,
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. It's so sad. So I obviously moved out to LA from Minnesota for college. And so when I was in Minnesota, so I was dating him when I was in Minnesota and he lived in California.
Okay.
He was in San Diego. And we were dating long distance, which actually worked. I actually didn't mind long distance, but you know, when you're dating long distance and they're a sociopath cheating, then there's issues. But
It's like the perfect opportunity for him.
It's a formula.
It makes it easy.
And that's why, right? Like at the time you're like, oh my God, he just loves me so much that he wants to date me across the country. No.
No,
It makes his life easier.
It benefits him in some way.
He can cheat tenfold when you're like miles away. Anyway, moved out to LA for college. I went to Los Angeles. He was in San Diego. But there's this girl that he had been, one of the girls he'd been cheating on me with, which I didn't know at the time. She's a Minnesota native as well. So I move out to LA. We date for like a little bit and then we ended up breaking up. So I start my new life in Los Angeles and I go to Loyola Marymount where I went to college, right? So Loyola Marymount is a school here in LA. It's private. It's small, right? It's like the St. Thomas of LA.
Yeah.
I say that to say that there's not a lot of people, let alone Minnesota transplants. So I'm like thinking I'm the only one. No, wrong. So there's another Minnesota transplant that year.
Oh God.
And it's none other than the girl he was cheating on me with.
Oh my God.
So he
you just couldn't escape him.
No, I couldn't escape him. I go to college. I think I'm moving to LA, like no mutual friends, no mutual contacts. And then of course this girl of all schools,
again,
she couldn't go to UCLA. She couldn't go to USC.
What are the chances?
She goes to Loyola. And so one of my first weeks on campus, she comes up to me. I'm sitting there on campus minding my goddamn business. She comes up to me and she has the audacity to say, so I'm sure you know who I am.
Whoa.
Yes.
Not even a like, hey,
No.
I'm sorry. Like we both got fucked by this guy.
No. And we didn't both get fucked for the record. I got
knew.
fucked. She knew. So then get this though. This is where I'm going to circle back to where you build a case, right? So I am like a pretty nice person. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, hi, what's up? So we start talking, but at this point, I don't actually know he had cheated yet. I just know she exists. I just know she's his friend.
Fuck.
Yes. So in my mind,
she threw him under the bus.
she was on my radar. Right. She was on my like little spidey senses. I had some feelings about her because she was just a little bit too around, but I didn't actually know. So then she comes up to me, very informally introduces herself, and then we actually start hanging out. Because I'd been broken up with him and we're just like, we're both from Minnesota.
Small world.
You always flock with Minnesotans here in LA.
And like Minnesota people are just really easy to get along with. Like, despite you guys having that like tumultuous history, like I'm sure she was still like one of like your people. Like Minnesota people have a certain vibe.
I think so too. Yeah. But you know, like at the time she knew like, oh, I was hooking up with him when you were dating him, but I didn't know that. And I think part of her, it's kind of going back to Misery Loves Company. I think part of her like felt closer to him through me.
Oh my God.
In a weird fucked up way.
Yeah.
So then I'll spare the details. We start hanging out. We become like friends and we are hanging out here in LA. There's comfort in knowing that there's another Minnesotan. And then she gets drunk one night. She gets really drunk one night. And I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
no.
let myself really get like that, you know? So she's really drunk and she just starts fucking spilling the tea. She just starts telling me in detail about how she was fucking my boyfriend.
Were you still together or did you already break up?
We had broken up. We had
But
been
he was
like
still
kind
trying?
of, yeah, we were like talking, but we were
Okay.
broken up. And she starts telling me like, oh yeah, like that one morning where like,
You
like,
left and I came over
yes,
right after?
Yes. Like, oh, that Valentine's Day. Like, oh yeah, I was in his bed. I'm like, yes. Bitch. Because not only are you, okay, you're spilling the tea.
But you've been trying to be friends with me.
Yes. You've been weirdo. You've been trying to be friends with me, one. And two,
She was jealous of you.
you knew.
She was literally trying to just embed herself in your life.
It's so weird. And like you knew, so you're admitting to me that you knew he had a girlfriend the whole time. Because you're admitting that you knew I was a thing and you still did these things. Like,
terrible.
it's so weird. And
It's
like,
so terrible.
that's probably one of the weirder situations I have where it's like, I don't know why this person wanted to like befriend me and wanted to like, and granted, like to this day, I don't really have beef with her. Like,
It's not worth it for you.
No, I think she can say the same about me. And I'm kind of like, I more so feel bad for you because at the end of the day, you're the girl that he thought he could fuck with on the side. Like I'm the girl he brought around his friends and his family and to his fucking concerts and all that shit. And like you were kind of like on the sidelines. And
that's the thing.
know?
Like I think being a side chick, it's like,
yeah, I've never been one. So I don't know that I know.
no,
of.
I haven't either. I've always been the girlfriend. Like
Same.
I have one experience in college where it's like I potentially was walking a slippery slope with that, but like I've always been the girlfriend where
Same.
I've been cheated on.
I love that for us.
And I think like if you're a side chick on accident,
right.
that's a different story. But if you know that they're like dating someone and you're truly going to be a side chick, it's like, don't you like want more like for yourself? Like I want to be spoiled in a relationship. I want the whole shebang.
Right.
I want dates. I want dinners. And like maybe you're getting that as a side chick, but it's like you're not getting all of that person.
No. Like you're getting fucking Chipotle dates if you're lucky. I'm getting Mastros. We are not the same, baby girl.
We are not the same.
Like I've never been a bench player like that. Like I've been the star fucking player. I'm the fucking LeBron James. I'm the Patrick Mahomes. I don't even know who a bench player is, but at best you're that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're second, third, fourth fucking string.
Yeah.
Don't, like you said, don't you respect yourself enough to be like, I don't deserve this? And like, it's funny, they hold out for hope. And I can't speak because I've never been one, but I'm assuming that they hold out for hope. I've had two guys.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Like
especially if like he's, you know, and I don't think like anyone that could be the love of your life would ever put you in that situation. I think if you met someone and like you guys were meant to be, he would break up with whoever he's with and then go to you. Like he wouldn't put you in that position to be the side chick. So it's like, yes, I can see how you would be like, oh, well, I love him and he loves me. You know, he's going to break up with her. It's just, it's not a good time.
So I've been in two situations where there's been a sidekick. It's basically what you are. You're fucking Robin to the
You had a sidekick in your relationship.
They were sidekicks because they helped them cover it up. So they damn near were sidekicks, but they were side chicks. Two relationships. And in both, those girls, women, whatever, were around before me. So I'm like, I am not the problem, sweetheart.
God.
If he knew you before I even was a thought in his little head and he had every chance to fuck you, date you, whatever, and he still chose to bench you and I come along, you know, knowing nothing, and then they wife me up and they leave you on the sideline, I am not the problem. And I don't want to say you're the problem because I'm never going to shame a woman like that.
No,
but
you're just getting roped in. And nothing like
he doesn't see you as a main chick. You're always going to be a side chick to him, and
you just got to move on.
Yeah, that's a self-respect problem.
It's not worth it. You deserve like as a side chick, you deserve to be in a happy, healthy relationship too. Like, why are you putting yourself through that emotional turmoil?
Right.